Hi guys, it's Miss Suzie from the Evergreen Park Public Library, and I would like to welcome you to my menagerie, some of my menagerie, my wonderful collection of very stuffed friends, right Bert? And if you guys are anything like me, you have a lovely collection, or maybe just a couple, stuffed friends. And just like regular friends, stuffed friends sometimes get sick, or dirty, or hurt. When they're dirty, you can send them to what we call spa day in my house and give them a nice wash. And when they get hurt, sometimes you need to stitch them up. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to perform your very own version of surgery, kind of, and giving your stuffed animals a nice little stitch when they have a rip. Now, while you're doing this, if they are a little bit flat, poor Bert's arms are a little bit sad and his legs are a little bit sad, they might need a fluff up, and you can add some fluff in to their rip before you stitch them up. So I can show you the before Bert and the after Bert, but I am going to teach you how to do the invisible stitch for the stuffed animals on this towel, and I'm going to use red thread so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But for Bert or your animals, you're going to want to use either invisible thread, which if you're a beginner at sewing, you don't want to use necessarily because it's harder to see, or you want to use thread that matches them. So Bert is going to get gray because he's gray, as many hippos are. We don't judge, right, Poppy? But you want matching thread. You're also going to need needles, so you're going to want to ask for an adult's help. You want to be very careful not to hurt yourself or poke yourself, and we don't play with needles. We only use them to sew. You may want a threader, to be able to help you thread your needle, so if you have one of those. And you may want a thimble to protect your finger when you push through so you don't hurt yourself with the needle. And you, of course, want scissors to be able to cut your thread. So I am going to give you a nice little tutorial on how to do a nice invisible stitch. So you should be able to sew them up nicely and it shouldn't show. So no scars. So here we go. Okay guys, so I have threaded my needle with my red thread, and I have my pretend stuffed animal, my towel, which is my example, and we are going to remember that you can only access it from this slit right here. Anywhere else would be inside the stuffed animal, so you can't reach it. So you can't flip it back and forth. So if you want to practice, that's something you need to remember when you go to practice. Otherwise, you can just dive right in and try it on your stuffed animal. But what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to go up through the top of the slit to just above where the rip starts. And you're going to pull up, and then you're going to make sure you tuck the thread into the hole. So then you're going to go directly across as if you were stitching across where the hole is. You're going to go directly across and down. And then you are going to, while you're still inside, you're going to go along the same line as where the cut is. And you're going to come out like that. So you should have one straight line across. So then what you're going to do is you're going to make a second one of those, and you're going to crisscross over, and then you're going to do the same thing and go down. So now when you pull this through, oh, you might get it stuck. It might take a little bit of patience. There it goes. So you see that now has two lines across. So then you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to repeat back and forth until you get to the bottom. It should start to look like baseball stitches, where it's just straight across. Like that. So I'm going to do that back and forth until I get to the bottom. Okay, so once you're at the bottom, you should be able to go like this and pull. And you see how it starts to disappear? Now, the red would be completely gone if it were, or the thread would be completely gone if it weren't red. But what you're going to do now to tie it off at the end is you are going to back over and under, right where your last stitch was, go around and make a loop. And then you're going to take your thread and you're going to thread through the loop you just made and make a knot. Now again, this would blend in if you were using a different, the same color as your stuffed animal. But as you can see, it does tend to disappear. There's no scar right there. You can't really see it, except for either end. You'll see a little bit, but in the same color, you wouldn't notice that. So now I'm going to do Bert, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like.